Hi, welcome once again to the Tinker's Workshop. It's been quite some time since I did any video, and with this next project I'm going to be setting up, I thought it'd be interesting to shoot the entire project on video instead of just pictures like I normally post on my blog. Some time ago I posted about a BMW logo sign I'd made for a friend of mine who wanted the sign made up for his office at his dealership. The sign turned out very well, and I started thinking about the project again after I reposted it, and I thought, gee, it'd be kind of neat to do a Mini Cooper logo sign, as I'm a big Mini Cooper fan, and make the sign and hang it up in my garage. I thought it'd be very interesting to do. So this video, we're going to go through the entire process of building this project, step by step, right down, and it'll be a fiberglass foam composite construction, and into painting and laying out parts and doing the design work. So I'm going to show you first off just the start of what the sign's going to look like. I put together some images on my computer through Blender 3D and some sketch work, and we'll go into that first and then we'll come back and start the construction. This is a picture of my garage and my Mini Cooper's parked here. I looked at this wall space here and said, gosh, there's the spot to put the sign. So I went online and found this logo here, which I thought was very interesting. This is the Mini Cooper logo plus the S for the turbocharged model, which is exactly what I've got. So I like this. I laid this out in here and I go, this looks good for size. And I was able to go into the garage and measure from this line to the very top of the ceiling. And I got like 33 inches. And I thought, let's make this sign about 31 inches tall. So I took this image, and this is what I started with, and brought it into Corel Draw software. You could do it in Photoshop, I'm sure, or GIMP, or any other drawing software. And got rid of everything. I took this image, I shouldn't say, and made a copy over the top, did a tracing over the top to just give me the line drawing of the logo. And so from there, I was able to take this line drawing and go to a copy place like Copyworks or Kinko's or whatever you want to name them, and had them blow it up. And from Corel, I was able to get a scale that these letters for Mini had to be 3.5 inches tall. So at the copy store, I told them, I says, blow this up so these are that size, then everything else will be exactly the scale I want, in which it is very close to what I wanted. So I took it like this, and then I had them blow it up and print out a full-size template. And that's what we're going to be using to make the sign when we start construction after this video segment here. So I looked at this, and this image is very nice, but it just didn't give me a good idea of how a 3D model would look, how the sign would actually look. So I took the drawing here again and brought it into some software that I use a lot here at the Tinker's Workshop called Blender 3D. Now, Blender 3D, if you don't already know, is a 3D modeling and animation and gaming software that is free download online. And I use it. I've been using it for quite a few years here now. So I took this drawing in and brought it into Blender, and this is what I was able to create. So this gives me and you now a very much better idea of what my Mini Cooper sign will look like when it's completed. At least I hope I can get to this quality. It'll be as close as I can get it. So anyway, Blender 3D is a perfect example I use here for concepting work. Gives me a much better idea of what I'm building. Also shows me here too exactly how many parts will be in this sign. A total of 11 different parts are going to have to be made for this big sign. The base will be one part. All this black will be one part. The red will be another 2. This outer ring plus the fingers on that ring, that's 3. 4, I should say. And then this ring, the black ring, and the inner face, that's 5, 6, and then this silver ring, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for the words Mini. So here we are back in the shop, And I've got some of the materials ready to show you how we're going to start. This is the printout, and let me scoot over here a little bit. This is a printout of the sign we're going to make. This is what it came from the copying place, so it gives you a good idea how big this is. I'll roll this out. What we're going to do is take this drawing, and we're going to trace it out onto this big sheet of styrofoam here. This is a 2-inch thick 4x4 sheet of regular insulation styrofoam that you'd buy at any home and builder store. And so we're gonna tape this down onto this piece of styrofoam and then trace it out. So I'll switch the camera here to get a better, closer view to show you exactly how that's done. So now we've got the template all taped down to the styrofoam sheeting here. This is just blue painter's tape. Let me see if you can point it out here. Oh, over there. There we go. Blue painter's tape, and that'll hold it down nice and steady for us. And we'll just take a regular ballpoint pen, and we're going to trace the outline. Trace just the outline, because we're going to do just the base in this first pass. This is a 2-inch thick foam again. So let's just start tracing it out. And once we get it traced out on the foam, then we'll pull this template up. And then we'll go over the lines again using a Sharpie pen to blacken them so we can see them a lot better. So we'll go ahead and start tracing them out. And you don't have to be real fussy with the lines. Just as soon as you push on the paper, you don't want to push too hard that you tear the paper, but you want to go some pressure on it so that it makes an indent into the foam. And this is going to be actually pretty quick because the lines are nice, straight curves on them. And you're not going to see too much on the video, but we're going to go ahead and trace these out, and when I get them done, we'll jump ahead to the next segment. Now that we've got the drawing completely traced out onto the styrofoam, you don't see much here right now, and that'll be the next step here. Let me see if I can zoom in and get an idea so I can show you. Ooh, it's pretty faint here. It's hard to see where the lines are. There's just a slight crease. It's hard to see it on video. And the next step we're going to do is go over these tracings, and I can see it without the camera. I can see the indents in the foam, but this camera's hard to pick it up. Well, the next thing we're going to do is take a Sharpie pen and go over the indents, and then we'll shoot this again, and you'll see the difference then. So here we've got the styrofoam completely traced out. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom way in here. You can see the lines here now. As way before you couldn't see it, but it's hard to show up on camera. But I went ahead and traced out the template on the foam here now in Sharpie. And the next step, we're going to take a special tool and cut this all out. Let me back up here a little bit. And let me set this camera up again, and we'll show you the next step. So the next sequence that has to be done on the build here is we're going to cut out this plate, this back plate for the sign that we just traced out on the styrofoam. And I do that, let me step off to the side a little bit. I use a tool here called a hot knife, and this comes from a company called Hot Wire Foam Factory, and I use this a lot. And what it is just northern. It looks like a screwdriver handle with a rod in it. And then it's got a power cord, and it runs electricity through this rod, heats it up, and it cuts our foam very nicely. This gets plugged into an adapter here. Let me get this situated. There we go. Plug this in. There we go. Now this, whoops, I got it backwards. Got to go this way. There we go. Okay, so this sits in this. Let me jump off to the side again here. So this gets mounted into this plate so that when I put it down on the foam, then this knife is cutting perfectly vertical. And it heats up the foam, and we'll get a close-up view of this cutting. It's not very fast, but it cuts so nice, and it'll be a perfect thing to cut out this piece out of the foam along with the rest of our pieces here. So let's get set up. I'll get my camera moved again, and I'll show you a close-up view of this cutting with the hot knife. So this is the hot knife here again. I want to get a better shot of it, and we're going to set this on. This gets plugged into this power supply right here. So we're going to move that off to the side, and I got things turned on. We'll turn it on and get her going, and we're going to cut this template out here. This has got a line. We're going to set it up here and start here once. So let's just go like so. Get it down. There we go. So I can follow right along this line and put the line to the inside, and this black plate keeps everything perpendicular, so I get a nice straight cut. And it goes pretty slow, but actually that's not a bad thing. Then you can keep an eye on how you're cutting. And we'll make this curve. It's going to take some time to make this cut all the way around this template. And we're just going to make a shortcut here to show you what it looks like. And it squeaks along. And we're gonna come out of here now. And we'll cut this off. This knife is hot, so you don't want to touch it with your fingers, but we'll just cut it out. There we go. And there you can see a nice, let me get my camera view. There's a nice cut, and that's real clean. And there's no debris, very little debris. It's like 3 hairs that come off of this thing. And so we'll go through the entire part here now, go all the way around, and once I get it all cut out, then I'll show you what it looks like. So this is where we'll start. Now we've got the part completely cut out. This is the size of it. It's right on the money as far as size I wanted. It's 31 by 42 inches in size. And so this will make a nice display in my garage. And this piece alone took a half an hour to cut out with a hot knife. But it's a nice straight cut, very little, if any, debris at all. I haven't even cleaned the table off, so it's very, very clean. So the next process is to continue on, cut all the pieces out of the foam, and then we'll go from there and start doing sanding to get it shaped for fiberglassing. So that'll be the next step. So we'll continue cutting and go from there.